Things that create comfort and connection with people, number one is just time together. So if you're in the venue with her, maybe she doesn't feel comfortable enough to come back home with you, but you don't need to just call it at that point. You can extend the interaction outside of the venue. Sometimes even just leaving the club with the girl, spending time out on the street with her, maybe even calling her an Uber home, driving her home, making sure she gets home safe, making friends with her friends, or bringing her somewhere to go get food with her. Spend more time with her before the interaction ends without you guys having. Now that could also mean that you pull her home and you spend time at home and you still continue to escalate a little bit, but it's more comfort connection building while keeping the arousal high. So that's just time. What else can we do to create more comfort and connection? Get to know each other on a deeper level. That typically means you're gonna have to talk more about yourself first, because it's unlikely that a girl's just gonna go on a rant about herself on a deep level out of nowhere, unless she's like heartbroken over her ex, and that's not the kind of level I'm talking about. That's not what we wanna do. And the way you'll find these out is you talk about yours first, right? So it's like, what was childhood like? What is your family life like? What are some things that maybe you struggled with earlier on in your life that you don't really struggle with anymore? What was like traumatic experiences you struggled with? But more importantly, how do those things end up shaping you and affecting you positively later on in your life? What are some things you wouldn't typically talk about with the person you just met that don't make you sound low value or low status? They're just things that you just don't typically talk about. You can start talking about these topics about yourself first, and as a result, the girl will then almost feel compelled to talk about her experiences with those things too. By the way, you don't just go super deep on one of these topics out of nowhere. We would be talking, and then I would go into a little bit of mine, and then I would ask the girl what hers was like. Let's say we were in the Uber on the way home, right? And we were talking about food, and I'm asking her what she wants. So she wants to get a hamburger with disco fries. This is just like a random example. I would say, you know what's so funny is like, my dad used to buy me Big Macs all the time. My nickname was Moose. I don't know why, but he nicknamed me Moose. I'm not gonna go on a whole story right now, but I'm just showing you guys how I took a topic and I'm talking more about earlier on in my childhood. That's me getting off of just surface level talk, and I start to have some depth to my character. Now, I could have gone into a really long rant there if I wanted to. I could talk about that and how I was actually really close with my dad growing up, and he was actually my coach. He was like literally my best friend and my coach throughout my whole childhood, because he was really big in baseball and basketball. So like, he built me a basketball court in the backyard, and he would always take me to the baseball field to practice. So like, I don't know, just growing up, he was like literally my coach and my best friend in one. And then when I was 12, it was really unfortunate. He actually passed away like abruptly, and it was like devastating. Again, I'm not gonna go into the whole story right now, but I'm just showing you guys how I could go to a deeper depth of the story as I continue talking. I wouldn't go straight into, yeah, so my dad died, and it was tragic. That's like a lot of pressure for a girl. If we were talking about a topic though, I could start to go to a little bit more of depth, and then I ask her, like, let's say I just did the Big Mac story part of it. From there, I could be like, what was your childhood like? Did you grow up in USA, or where'd you grow up? She could talk a little bit, then I could put it back on me. I could talk a little bit more about mine. I could talk about the death of my dad. I could talk about a different experience, but I'm just going to a lower depth of my character. I'm gonna get back to the video in 1 second, but really quickly, if you wanna work with me one-on-one to implement any of the concepts I talk about in any one of my videos, click the link in the description, fill out the application for an opportunity to actually work with me personally to accomplish your goals with women in dating. Link is in the description. With that being said, let's get back to the video. And then I ask the girl, and she talks a little bit about hers. And then I ask her some questions about what she tells me. Asking her the why or the how about whatever she's talking about will typically go deeper into the topic. So the goal really is to connect with the girl on a deep level. Like, if you guys are starting to learn game, you start learning teasing and flirting lines and physical escalation, which is great, but during the initial interaction, you're never getting to a depth of getting to know each other. You're just like very surface level. Once you get to a level where you're creating attraction, you can flirt and you can escalate with women, the next missing piece is to be able to create a deep connection with the girl that's unique and special between the two of you guys. The only way you're gonna get to that level though is by doing exactly what I'm telling you. You need to have the attraction and value in place, and then at some point you start going deeper and deeper and deeper. And then eventually you want to get to a point where you could actually connect with the person on that topic of depth. That alone will create an extreme amount of comfort and connection between the two of you guys, because she's starting to learn more and more and more about you. When you just keep it surface level and it's flirty, she feels good emotions in the moment, but then when she goes home and days go by, she's left with no substance because there was no depth to the interaction. If you've ever dated a girl long term, you get to know her on levels that most other people don't know her on. And that's why when you guys break up or you spend a lot of time apart, she's really missing you because there was such a deep connection between the two of you guys. So time is one, comfort and connection, that's another one. I'll go into one other technique for right now, which is the idea of future projecting. Planting seeds in the girl's mind about the two of you guys doing activities together in the future. I'll go back to the burger one. We're talking about disco fries. I'd be like, wait, have you ever been to Hibernia Diner? It's kind of far from here, but I don't know if you've ever been over there. That was like my go-to spot. So I used to go out a lot in Morristown, but when I would go home, that was the only diner that was still open after like 2:30. They make such blah, 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 right? I gotta take you there sometime, you would love it. Or if we're talking about sushi, ask her what the favorite place she likes to go sushi. If we're talking about working out, I gotta bring you to my gym sometime, or we gotta work out together sometime. I wonder if you could keep up. I'll go easy on you on the first workout though, don't worry. Whatever we're talking about, massages, smoking weed, going to the gym, going out and partying, going to some food spot, going to some hike trail, walking your dog, cooking together, drinking wine together, whatever the is. You need to start planting ideas in the girl's mind that you're gonna do things with her. You're gonna show her things that she would really like to do in the future. And the more detailed you could go about those things, the more in her mind she envisions the two of you guys doing that activity together, the less it becomes about the sex for tonight. Because her thoughts are, he's gonna me, it's gonna be about the sex. He got his nut and I feel used. That's why girls get buyer's remorse. They feel used. There wasn't comfort and connection in place. It was all about the sex. This could also be about the kiss. If you guys have ever had a makeout in the club where it was a really quick makeout and then shortly after the girl left, it's because you went for the kiss too soon and there wasn't enough depth of the conversation. And the girl just felt like it was just this fun thing and you were just like the makeout guy, so she kissed you and then you broke it off. Instead, what you wanna do is build it up to the point where you could almost kiss her, recognize that the tension is there, and don't kiss her because the kiss will break the tension. Just like this will release the tension. You bring it to a certain point and then you utilize the tension and keep the tension there, and then you go into these topics that I'm talking about. And since the tension's high, the girl will want to get to know you on those levels. And so that'll allow you to do that. You keep it flirty periodically to prevent the vibe from completely dying. But you don't kiss too early and you don't have sex too early because both of those things release tension. So keep the tension high and then start to create more comfort and connection. Spending time, going into connection building conversations. Multiple locations with the girl will also help create the comfort and connection. And then also future projection. So I gave you guys 4 that you could do. You want to utilize these the next time you're in an interaction with the girl to determine how much attraction is in place, how much comfort and connection is in place. And if I think both of those are enough, now we could actually go all the way with it. If there's not enough, keep the tension high and then try to go into 1 or 2 of these other techniques that I just discussed to help solidify that interaction with the girl and increase the likelihood that she's gonna wanna see you over and over and over again. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you're interested in implementing any of the concepts taught in this video, I have a brand new coaching program where you can actually work with me one-on-one. I'm going to analyze your communication, your pickup skills, your game, and assess where you're at, point out your blind spots, your sticking points, show you the step-by-step process as well to take you from where you're at right now to accomplishing your goals with women and dating. Click the link in the description, fill out that application, pick out a day and a time for that consultation call, and I'll be talking to you guys soon. Until next time, Coach Kyle signing out. Peace out, guys.